Man, I love how cancel culture is just in full swing, no matter what seems to happen. You can have Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Bill Maher. Everybody comes out, all these big comedians, even Bill Maher, who's a political pundit comedian type guy. And cancel culture just keeps on trucking along, spelling the doom and demise for the left in politics because people associate this insanity with the Democrats. That's exactly what Bill Maher just did. In my main video, I talked about how Bill Maher slammed the far left as a cancer. And he said it's hurting the Democrats. It is. The Democrats are chasing after this insanity. Just stop. Here's the story. Shane Gillis, a new SNL cast member, used racial slur in podcast. And he also did like a crude impersonation of Asian people. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Now, here's what's going to happen. Tim Pool's going to point out that he's mixed race. He's then going to point out that he's also mostly white. And then I'm going, let me just stop. Let me just stop here. Here's the thing. I am not a completely Asian person, nor am I Chinese. I am not offended by people doing impersonations, like stereotypical impersonations of Asian people. Granted, now I'm going to have people who are Chinese saying, you're not Chinese, you don't get it. And admittedly, people in East Asia are extremely racist. I think, however, most actual Chinese people in China don't care. They don't. They're racist too. So here's the thing. If you were going to make fun of me for being Asian or call me a racial slur, I really just wouldn't care. It doesn't mean anything. I don't care. And now the woke brigade is going to be like, that's because you passed, Tim, and you don't understand what it's like to be oppressed. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I have family members. I don't like it when people disparage my dad for being white, nor do I like it when people disparage my mom for being Korean. The point is, I'm not going to get bent out of shape. I'm just going to be like, yeah, people are mean sometimes. But in this context, more importantly, I don't care when Dave Chappelle does white jokes. I laugh. It's funny. And I don't care when he does Chinese jokes. I laugh. It's funny. Oh no. Edgy boy, I'm going to get in trouble now because everyone's going to say, how dare you, Tim? Let's read the story and figure out exactly what's going on. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate. If you would like to support my work, there's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address, but the best thing you can do is share this video. Let's break some echo chamber bubbles. I hate the algorithms. I hate how YouTube does it. I hate how Facebook does it. So you know what? I don't care who they want to promote. I ask you to share this content if it means somebody who might not agree might hear it. And I'd love for them to argue back. Because that's what it's all about, man. Let's have a conversation. But YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all these platforms want to do is give you more of what you already like. Nah, not okay with that. Let's read on. They say, the comedian's remarks about Chinese people surfaced the same day Saturday Night Live announced the casting of its first Chinese-American actor. Well, they're announcing him too, right? He was with them. They say, a comedian named on Thursday as one of the newest Saturday SNL cast members made racist remarks mocking Chinese people and used a racial slur in a podcast episode last year. And it was in the context of comedy. It wasn't in the context of him being seriously angry with Asian people. He was making a joke. It was like, jokes can be offensive, and that's just something we gotta grow up. Remember when comedians like make fun of people in the audience and point out like character flaws and defects and like body shame them? Yeah, grow up. We poke fun at each other. We rib on each other. You know, guys actually will punch their friend, not because they want to hurt them, because it's meant to be a joke. They cause you pain. They'll roll up a towel and whip you with a towel. That's just, I don't know what the issue is, but sometimes things hurt and it's not meant to cause damage. It's just meant to be playful. The comments were uncovered. Uncovered? It was a public podcast. Anybody could have listened to it. No one uncovered this. They just started tweeting out to the outrage mob. They were uncovered by a comedy journalist. Wow. You know, they say that comedy is the lowest form of entertainment, but let me just say this. A comedy journalist is a whole order of magnitude beneath that. Let's read on. Several hours after NBC announced that the comedian Shane Gillis, 31, would be joining the cast along with two other performers, one of them, the show's first Chinese-American player. In the episode, which was recorded on video and uploaded to YouTube a year ago, good job uncovering a public YouTube video, Gillis, a stand-up comedian in New York, and his podcast partner, Matt McCusker, mimicked caricatures of Chinese accents. Whoa. Was it Chinese? How do you know? Are you saying that all Asian people sound Chinese, like you can't tell the difference? Maybe he was doing an impersonation of someone who wasn't Chinese. Say during their conversation, which is often vulgar. Oh no, vulgar? Gillis also called it a hassle to try to speak with a waiter in a Chinese restaurant and made other offensive remarks, including a slur referring to Chinese people. Well, look, that one's true. He did use a racial slur referring to Chinese people, and I can understand why people would get mad about that. It's one thing to use a word specifically highlighting offense of the word, like what George Carlin did. It's another thing just to call somebody a name. But I will say, we're still in the realms of comedy. And if he was offensive, he's offensive for making a bad joke, not for being racist. And so I'm not going to get mad at him. The learning moment for this is not to try and destroy the man's life on one of the happiest days of his life. It's just to be like, whoa, dude, you missed the mark on that one. But, otherwise, keep up the good work and try and do better. That's supposed to be the response, I go to a show and someone makes a joke that's really off color, really rude or offensive, and I don't laugh. I'll just be like, hey man, this part of the set was good. I didn't think that one worked. That's it. Because it's comedy. People are trying to figure out the boundaries of what's acceptable and what isn't, but they'll destroy your life for making a joke. If the dude actually went out with a sign that was like really racist against Chinese people and was like advocating for policy, yeah, that's different. This was in the context of him being crude and crass with his buddies and trying to be offensive. Sarah Silverman, for instance, dressed up like Hitler. Okay, we get it, man. It's called comedy. Grow up. So I don't even think this dude needs to apologize. You apologize for nothing, Shane Gillis. I am going to watch your comedy now because they're mad at you. Shane Gillis put out a statement saying, I'm a comedian who pushes boundaries. I sometimes miss. If you go through my 10 years of comedy, most of it bad, you're going to find a lot of bad misses. I'm happy to apologize to anyone who's actually offended by anything I've said. My intention is never to hurt anyone, but I'm trying to be the best comedian I can be, and sometimes that requires risks. That's actually a really great statement. I agree. That's actually how I kind of just framed it. You do a joke that misses, someone just be like, that was a miss. Okay, we move on. It's not, it's so different. You know what? Let me put it this way. Even if he's trying to directly offend somebody, grow up, dude. I get it. NBC shouldn't hire people who literally want to espouse literal, direct acts of racism. But this is the instance of someone just pushing the boundaries of comedy, which is what comedians are supposed to do. They're supposed to give everybody a pie in the face. Here's what I said to Dave Rubin. Everybody deserves a pie in the face every so now and then. And that includes me. To act like we're invincible or better than anyone else for any reason is wrong. People shouldn't do that. So if somebody wants to come around and poke fun at me, insult me, there you go, man. I get it. Assuming it's in good faith. I really hate the good faith, bad faith argument because everyone just accuses everyone else of operating in bad faith. But there are people who pretend to be outraged at everything, and they're not. So let's pull up the guy who actually started this thing. His name is Seth Simons, comedy journalist. He said, if your position is that it's immoral to try to get someone fired from a job because they have a history of hate speech, maybe ask around about how they treat other workers in their field and consider whether one thing might relate to the other. Here is Shane on the Legion of Skanks last July. These are the same guys who gave Louis C.K. a surprise set at their festival 3 months ago. This is a very real sector of contemporary comedy with a huge constituency. One of SNL's head writers is part of it too. CW. Racism, ableism. Oh no. You know what, man? You've lost any goodwill I was willing to give you. When people came out before and would say something like, it's just, it was very offensive and racist and all that, and I would say, okay, right? We'll try and do better, right? But now we're at a point where everything is racist. Now we just don't care. Dave Chappelle, oh man. They try to paint him as like aging and alt-right or whatever. It's like, come on, dude. Dave Chappelle hit it out of the park. And I'm glad that Shane phrased it the way he did. It's not so much an apology, it's an explanation. And that's fair. He can say, look, I addressed it. It's comedy. You can grow up. Or, you know what, man? Shane, I get it. You're going to be on SNL, so you've got to play the marketing angle a little bit, but stand up to Twitter. Okay? You kind of did. So I'm not directly referring to him. If it were me, I'd be a little bit more direct. I'd put out a statement just like this, and I would actually write on Twitter, here's my statement concerning my past comments, and then I would have this text, and it would just say, F you. And we're done. I don't care. I don't. I get it. We're in trying times. YouTube could ban you. Facebook could ban you. Twitter could ban you. But you know what? I just don't care. I'm so ready to go chill in the woods and go fishing and just sit, just hang out looking up at the trees and the stars because these people are nuts. But for the time being, I'm glad we're seeing pushback. I'm glad comedians are standing up and saying, hey, numbnuts, we tell jokes. Get it? Jokes can be offensive. Aw, is baby crying? I don't care, dude. Granted, he didn't say it as harsh as I did, but I would say it that harsh. I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. The dude's not intentionally trying to hurt people. He was trying to be crass and shocking. That's the point. Should people change? Yes. There are a lot of jokes in our past that we don't tell anymore. There's a lot of entertainment we don't do anymore, and I understand why, and we can improve. But what these people do, the New York Times are writing about this. Oh, come on, dude. This guy, Seth, dude, seriously? You're making it harder to actually progress. I'm done. Stick around. I got one more segment coming up for you in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.